Hello everybody, this is Rohan from DSfW. I'll start with the basic use case of DSfW. What you see in front of your screen is the DSfW server on baseless. As you can see, the name of the domain is dsfw.edu. The IP address of server is 56.110, and these are the services that are running. Going to the client, I'll show you how it joins and user operations, how these are performed. So if you go to the client and see the DNS settings, you will see that it is configured to connect to DSfW server as DNS. So now I'll join the workstation. So now it has started joining, and as you can see, it has joined. So I'll reboot and relog in as domain administrator. So now the system has rebooted and we'll relog in as domain administrator. So now we are logging in, and then we'll launch the user creation operations once we log in. So login now is done, and I am launching the user creation screen. I create a new user U3, assign it the password, create a new group G3, associate user 3 with G3, and then verify the association. Now I'll log in as the domain user that I just created, U3, that is. DSfW domain, just the non-existent user it will refuse. So I'll log in as U3 and it will shortly log in. So as you can see, this has logged in as domain user U3. So now I'll show you how DSfW is installed. This is the first screen, and because it is the first server, so we select the first option and we want to have a quick install as of now. So we'll go to next screen. We'll say the e-directory tree name is DSfW tree 2. We'll go to the next screen. It is asking us to assign the domain administrator password. This is the settings that are configured: domain name, NetBIOS name, and site name. We'll keep the default, and because DSfW services are very dependent on time, so we define the NTP server, and as you can see, we'll have a summary screen which will give us the details of the configurations that will be written, and then we start the DSfW installation. So while DSfW is getting installed, I'll quickly show what are the LAN configurations. So the server IP is 111, this DSfW server. The host name is DSfW install. Domain name is DSfW edu in this case, and the DNS server is self-referencing because this is the first server in the domain. So now we have seen the primary use case of DSfW as well as how to install it. So as you can see, the DSfW is getting configured after DNS. So first part of DSfW installation is done. Now we provision the domain objects into the server. So this is the provisioning authentication. So now the provisioning steps you can see, and I'll start the provisioning steps, and while provisioning is ongoing in existing server, I'll show you group policies. So I launch a group policy wizard. I configure the default policy for the web settings of the internet browsers. So I go to policies and Windows settings. I think it is in users. So I go to Internet Explorer settings of users, URL. In this I configure homepage as HTTP. Then I'll configure the favorites also, micro focus, focus.com. I'll log in again as U3. So while the Windows workstation is restarting, I can show you the provisioning screen of the installation. So Windows, I'll now log in as user U3, U3N. So I have logged in as U3. I'll show the configuration of home page, which we configured using group policies. So as you can see now, the home page is dsfw2.com, and similarly the favorites is there. While we know that Internet Explorer is obsolete, but this was just to demonstrate the capabilities. So basically, to summarize, we demonstrated user creation, join, group policies, and installation and provisioning of DSfW. So we'll just see where we are with the provisioning. So provisioning is still ongoing. We'll get back when the provisioning is finished. So as you can see, now the provisioning is completed, and I'll quickly show you the services. So like the other server, the services are also up and running here. So this was all about DSfW, its install and its basic usability in Windows, but there are other use cases which we can discuss more.